My name is Nicole and I'm with Found NBC Peacock. And today I just have the pleasure and the honor of interviewing the beautiful and talented Katrina Rivera. Let's hear it for Katrina.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, so Katrina, we had some questions submitted. And the first one is, what is it that interested you in being a stunt woman and an actress?
Acting was just something that I've always been interested in doing. Even as a kid, I was always putting on little plays in front of my family or just being interested in doing chorus and drama. So all throughout grade school, that was just kind of the track that I was on, whether that was doing the news in the morning or, being a part of the local news or doing arts in school.
Mhm.
Went to high school for TV production as well. All 4 years, I went to like a old skill center that got turned into a high school. So that was my trade all four
Oh,
years.
wow. Okay.
And so when I moved to Atlanta after I graduated college, I was like, well, do it. Why not? And so
Right.
I decided to pursue acting seriously and professionally once I got here to Atlanta. And that was back in 2011, 2013.
Oh, okay. And what was your first acting role?
My first acting role was for an independent project. It was a short and it did get submitted into film festivals. It was called No Turning Back by Sam Adu. And
Okay.
it was about a girl that was getting abused and wanted to run away from home.
Mhm.
And she runs away with her friend who's kind of like her savior. So, especially with my background being in social work, my degree is in psychology. I minored in psychology. I mean, majored in psychology, minored in philosophy. And I did some social work as I was trying to get into acting. It was just a project that was kind of personal to me too. So it kind of spoke to the industry that I was like working for and representing and being a voice
Okay.
for. With that I actually got my SAG eligibility with that project since it went to film
Oh,
festivals and it became
great.
SAG. And that's how things kind of rolled out for me. So yes,
Oh,
always
good
remember that first
deal.
project.
So, how did you enjoy working on our favorite show, Found?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, of course, I'm working the circuits as a stunt woman, and a part of that is kind of doing second team background work, every now and then. Girl ain't too proud to beg. No, I'm kidding. You gotta do what you gotta do when you hustle, okay?
Right.
And I just got booked by one of the casting agents for a core stand-in. I worked with very closely with Gabrielle Walsh. She plays
Oh,
Lacey
wow.
on the
Okay.
show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she was my first teamer. I was her second teamer. And it's so interesting being a part of the production all beforehand and then watching it afterwards.
Yes.
And I'm
That is
like,
so true.
why do I know all the lines? Like, why do I know all of Lacey's lines? Like, what's going on? And I was just like, oh man, I would show up on set and memorize all the sides for that day, just as you do as an actor, as you prepare and you use this
Right.
opportunity as a training ground as an actress. So yeah. But yes, it was amazing working on the show. Gabrielle is absolutely a sweetheart. Shanola Hampton really set the tone for the show and how the production was run. She comes in. Well, the running joke is you hear her before you see her, but we say that all endearingly. If you've met Shanola Hampton, you know that she is definitely a very bright light that walks in with high energy, and completely unmatched, but it definitely comes from a very glorious place, so you can't help for it to be infectious. And it definitely makes the long hours bearable for sure, because her energy
Right.
lasts all the way through to the end of the day, every day. And with her being number one on the call sheet, she's there most days before and after everybody else.
Right.
So working on the show was absolutely fantastic. And then with it being of such high caliber, this is an NBC show,
Right.
the
Exactly.
NBC series. So, as someone who thinks that you're coming to work on this show as background and you don't take advantage of the opportunity of what it is to watch the executive producers and the showrunner and how they operate and the ADs and really try to make an impact or a mark or something, you're going to miss a grand opportunity. So to be able to work on the run of show for a show like Found, it really doesn't get any better. The caliber doesn't get much higher than a primetime network show behind the scenes every day for a season.
That is so true.
God is so good.
Right.
Grateful for the opportunity. Amazing opportunity.
So, speaking of opportunities, I am dying to know about when you were in Marvel movies. That is so juicy right there. Marvel movies are huge, and especially Wakanda Forever. You've got to tell us about that.
Well, it's an amazing experience within itself to be a part of such a production, and then it's different from a series. You're working on a feature film. So just the experience overall, I got to be a part of the Puerto Rico unit. So we were flown out to Puerto Rico and to work with the director, Ryan Coogler. That was amazing to see the kind of person that he isn't different than the person who he has to be on set. And sometimes, we have to create those differences, but he truly shows up as himself. Like there is no differentiating. So, to see somebody who doesn't seem as quite, it's hard to say. He's like one of us, so it's really cool to see that. And he doesn't have to put on a front or a political correct voice or anything like that. Like he's talking to people's like you over there, he just keeps it real with everything. And then, of course, the caliber of people that work on that set as well, all the water safety people, shout out to them because we were out on the beach and they definitely had to come get my behind a couple times because I was like, I wasn't prepared to swim in this potato sack. I wasn't ready. Yeah, once you put the costume on and the shoes, water. But it's a great team. Everybody is truly dedicated and expert in their own right in what they do. Everybody has a role to play, and it's a huge production. So everybody from makeup, wardrobe, all of that had to put on the prosthetics and take them off, and all that stuff was truly amazing experience.
That sounds so awesome. So, which did you find more difficult, doing stunts or acting?
Hands down acting. I almost feel a little bit of a cop out when I do stunts because I'm like, this is the easy stuff for me. And not to say that stunts is easy, but as a performer and someone who's always been very athletic, I kind of thrive in that, and trying to memorize body movement versus lines and emotion and character analysis and the scene and the relationships between people and all of that. There's so many different layers as an actor that I feel like are a bit more challenging to narrow and hone in than it is producing body movement. So I'll definitely say acting. It's more challenging, but I love both.
Will you be working on Found for season 2?
Oh, I pray to God so. I hope they haven't forgotten about me. I hope I'm by request. I actually have a really great relationship with Lacey. We're Gabrielle Walsh. We're still in contact. We message each other during the show, and he's absolutely super sweet. And sometimes it's really funny because we have this thing where we'll kind of like tap each other in and out every time we cross paths. Because they'll say, "Okay, thank you, second team. We're ready for first team." So we always see each other in passing, and we'll just kind of give each other like a little, "What's up? Okay, tapping you in." So it's good to have those kind of relationships.
She seems super, super sweet.
She truly is.
What are your thoughts on season 1? What about that season finale, for crying out loud?
I was thinking the same exact thing. You cannot talk about season 1 without talking about the cliffhanger that is season 1 of Found. Okay.
Yes.
I still don't know how well, you know what? I don't even know if I can look that cliffhanger. We gonna see what happens in season 2. But as far as the show, I love what it represents. It represents finding people of color, finding people of all walks of life. You will find yourself not only being invested in the cases that are being told and the stories, the people in the stories that they are a part of, but you also find yourself on a deeper level, thinking on a psychological level. Um, who to save and who not to save, and why would you and why wouldn't you? You see Sir battles with that sometimes when he's like, that person is impure, I'm not helping you solve this case.
Right.
But then you see a more holistic approach with Gabby Shanola Hampton, and she's like, it doesn't matter who it is, because she was once one of those people that you wouldn't think
Exactly.
to look for, and she's like, but I am worthy of being searched for no matter what. And there's so many levels and tie-ins, because there's like these flashbacks of when Sir had Gabby and he was having her read these books, and reading these books on such a philosophical level where, you know, at one point she's reading a book on, you know, you help or save somebody no matter how much evil they have done. So you can truly see this battle of good and evil within the show on such a much deeper level than honestly anything that I have seen on network television.
Exactly. Exactly.
And coming from a social work background with a philosophy minor, I
Hmm.
like my penile gland is tickled. My hippocamp, like it's. I'm just like, oh my gosh, these are such wonderful questions to pose, you know, and ask ourselves how we're where we're getting our values from, and how we're making these
Exactly.
decisions, these life-changing decisions.
Yes.
So I think the show is phenomenally written. Shout out to Mickey Carroll and also the other supporting writers for this show, who are women and women of color.
Yes.
Um,
That is always so great to see. And a show is so important because it gives us that spotlight where you shouldn't just want to save the blonde haired, blue eyed, picture perfect child. You should want to save every child. So we love that about that. So, how did it feel working on the Marvel movie? Like, did you see your name in the credits? Were you like, oh my gosh,
yeah, I'll definitely say a dream come true for sure is definitely that. Not only to be a part of it, but to kind of have the proof, you know, where it's like, you can find my name in the credits. Like, that's going nowhere. That's going nowhere. It will be there forever until the
that's
end of time.
true.
And as far as I know, this movie is going to be the hottest movie for like the next like 20, 30, maybe 50 years.
Yes.
So um so it was definitely a dream come true, a little girl's dream. My dad and I had always kind of joked as I embarked as an actress, you know, that I would give him a call when I had my red carpet moment, so he could walk me down the red carpet. And so when I got the invite for the Atlanta premiere for cast and crew, I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I hope you have your suit ready. And he just knew exactly what I was talking about. He was like,
Oh
well, which
my
one do you want, baby?
gosh.
I got the tux, I got the double breast, I got the seersucker. Like, which one you want?
He was
So
ready.
he was definitely ready. And he cracks a joke that even though the tickets were obviously complimentary for us, one for me, one for him, he's like, it's the most expensive movie I've ever seen, because he had to fly in from Florida to come see this movie.
That is so
So we have
awesome.
wonderful pictures of us together walking the red carpet for it. And the premiere was actually amazing. Fortunate I couldn't make it out to the LA premiere, but I was glad to make the one here in Atlanta. And they had a whole band walk through, a whole marching band. It was held at the Fox Theater.
Wow.
Tons of pictures being taken, of course, and then seeing castmates and stuff. Again, was absolutely amazing. And then to watch the movie, the movie was so emotional and impactful.
Oh my
Was
gosh.
great. So to see my name at the end of the credits was also
Ah,
the icing on the cake for sure.
I know that. So I have a question myself, not one
Sure.
that was submitted. Girl, you gotta tell me about all the Queen's men. You have got to tell me about all the Queen's men.
Look, I don't have much to say. You're just gonna have to watch it for yourself. but it is one heck of a show.
Oh my gosh, I
You
love
know,
that
there's one thing
show.
about Tyler Perry, and there's no lack of imagination. That's for sure.
That is so true. I thought I'd get a little bit of a spoiler, but okay, okay.
Can't do it. Can't do it. I've signed
So,
papers.
out of your whole career, what actor or actress had you starstruck when you met them?
Oh my goodness. It the Queen from Bridgerton, Queen Charlotte.
Really?
Yes, yes. I remember working on a scary movie, and it was my second day working on it, called um, Somewhere in Dreamland. Somewhere in Dreamland. I think it's about the Sandman. And it was this lady that I was doubling. I had to do a stair fall. And when I realized that this lady was going to be on set, I was like, there is no way. And I showed up, and not only was she like there, but the scenes that I'm doing the stair falls in were opposite of her. So
Oh
technically,
my
I'm like
God.
acting opposite of her. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. What? And she's still got her British accent, and she's asking me about the climate and in the southeast region of the United States. Like, who talks?
That
I
is
was like, oh my
amazing.
goodness. I love Bridgerton, and I love her and Queen Charlotte. So I would definitely say that was probably the first time, because I usually, when we wrap from set, we out of there.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I stayed a whole hour and a half later just for her scene to be over so I could get like a regular picture with her. Because I got a picture
Oh,
with her, but I was
wow.
in like
Okay.
hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So I had like blood all over my face and these dreads, and I was still in costume. And I was like, I would love to get a picture with you, but if it could please be after I get out of all this. And she was like, well, let's take one now, and then we'll take one afterwards. I was like,
Oh my
okay.
God.
And then I waited, and I was like, please, can we? Because I was like, I'm not going to post this.
It's awesome. So you have the bloody picture and then you have the
I
cleaned
do.
up
I have both,
picture.
actually. So I was just like, oh man, So, and I've definitely worked with my fair share of actresses and actors on quite a few sets, but she was definitely the highlight for sure. I fanned out for her.
So what are your future goals for your career? What can we expect to see you in pretty soon?
You know, as an actress, which is just one layer, of course, you can definitely look forward to seeing me in more sci-fi, supernatural, action adventure kind of films. That's something, as an actress, I've always wanted to strive for. Didn't really want to do too much of the romance or the typical
Yeah.
roles, like more of the stronger type. It just falls naturally for me. Although I like to push myself in different directions,
Mhm.
I'll be able to do that through the character and the emotional work of some of the projects that I have coming up. There is one project called Black Moon, which is a sci-fi that I'm the lead in.
Oh,
And
really? Is it going to be in
yes,
theaters? Is it going to be on a streaming service?
this one is going to be on streaming services. We haven't shot the season yet, so this is more so like just
Oh my
some projects
gosh.
that you could look forward to seeing me in the near future. We did shoot the sizzle reel for it, and it did get the green light for that. So it is a work in progress. We are, looking to film some more things for that. And of course, as a stunt woman, I'll definitely be a part of more action adventure stuff. There is a movie that did just come out. It's called Lady Ballers. It's a comedy. You can definitely check me out in that.
Okay.
I play a female basketball player, and we're basically getting wrecked by these guys that pretend like they're women to get the women's basketball league. And it is actually pretty funny. So aside from just working as a performer on my craft and getting into more film festivals and wanting to be a part of con, um, I definitely plan on developing more into the space of like producer, executive producer, and even getting into intimacy coordinating as well. So there's definitely a lot of impact that I want to make and just be a pillar of advocacy for our actors and stunt people for safety inside of film and television. So I certainly will not be going anywhere, either in front of the camera or behind the scenes.
Well, I thank you so much for your time talking with me today. And I want to get this so I can give you some more applause because you are so worth it. We are definitely excited to see you in Black Moon. I'm definitely going to be looking that up. Congratulations on all your successes, and hopefully we'll get to see some more of you in Found season 2. Let's hear it for
Absolutely.
Katrina.
Yay. Thank you so much, Nicole. I so appreciate you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It's absolutely an honor to speak with you and to be a part of NBC and Found and a part of all these amazing people that were a part of this show. I got to see them day in and day out, working to make the show a success. So I appreciate you for getting the word out and, wanting to interview all of those that are around us. So thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. Thank you.